ILene Vick. It is Sunday, January 14th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. It is week 3 of 2024, and in my neck of the woods, it is currently 22 degrees with a high of 31 and a low of 20. Welcome to my broadcast. I'm here for the next 3 hours for coloring, companionship, chat, friendship, giggles and laughs, conversation, pretty pictures, weird songs every once in a while. Welcome to my Facebook peeps who come in and chat with me. That's always fun. And I misspoke. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and chat with me. And welcome to my YouTube peeps who watch this broadcast after the fact. We'll get this right. And then welcome to my Facebook peeps who watch this broadcast after the fact when I upload it to my Facebook group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. All right. Welcome, Belle. Good to see you. Welcome, Sandy. All right. So the first part of my broadcast is always a duet where I give you a free image from one of my books. And that way you can color it with me. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday to one and all, says Maggie. She likes to sing her way into the room. So this is a free piece. You can get it in my group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Do a search under new duets. Download it. And then you can color with me. Okay. Ooh, Belle, what was that for? So we've got this little guy, and then I actually gave out 2 additional pieces. We've got our gnome sitting on our log. And then we have a gnome couple, wedding couple. Hey, Karen. So what, Belle, what's the okay, I will? Oh. So lots of freebies out of this. Now, this particular book, I gotta wait for Linda because she asked this question too. Well, I can mention it again. This gnome, these 3 gnomes are out of a new book. It's Valentine's Gnomes Jubilee. I'm waiting for approval from Amazon. It's been submitted. So as soon as they work their magic, it'll be available. And of course, I'll let you know. Oh, you will get copies of these pages. Okay. Cool. And then the second project I'm working on is from Worlds of Wonder. So if you have this from Johanna Bosford, and I'm coloring the goldfish, pulling the jar. And I've been concentrating on the jar at the moment. So we've been having fun with this. So I split the broadcast into 2 segments, so an hour and a half on the first piece, and then an hour and a half on the second. And then, of course, you can always watch it on video if you can't stay the full time. Okay. Let's see, what was the other piece of news? Oh, our area is about to get pounded with snow and very cold temperatures, so we've got winter warnings. Anywhere from 2 to 6 inches, depending on where we live in Tennessee. And when I let Vicky out to go potty, it's already starting to snow. And it's ice crystals. What? No. All right, so get out your little gnome here. And I'm going to start working on the right-hand side. And here's my paper towel to put underneath my hand, which I always recommend. Helps reduce smudging. And I'm going to work in a little bit of green in this project. And I want to do it now before I continue underneath this hat. So I've got like a turquoise green. And I'm going to add that to the underside here. And this will make a pretty hat. Oh, Linda, you won't be on tonight watching the Lions playoff game. Okay, Linda, before you go, this book, Valentine's Gnomes Jubilee, is going to be available shortly. I've submitted it to Amazon. So it'll be available soon. I think you said you were interested in it. Oh, Maggie, you've got a winter advisory for temperatures, possible light icing. Yeah. It's going to be brutal the next few days. Go Lions! Linda, put the game on in the background. Or put this broadcast on in the background. Okay, so now I'm going to add my darker green here on this edge. And then a little bit lighter green. And snow up to an inch with an icy glaze. We're not prepared down here for this stuff. Yeah, in Texas. Yep. Linda, 1 degree. Oh. Sorry to hear that, Linda. Okay. Lighter green next to this dark green. And then we'll blend that. If anybody needs this, your wind chill is 0 to -5 below. Or, yeah. If anybody needs this image, please speak up. It's available in my Facebook group. Now, you know that I always talk about, did you do a flip through of Coloring February? No, not yet. Okay, now we've got another green little area here. We have our light. And then our dark. Yeah, I've got several flip throughs on tab. It'll be about a week. Okay, check out these greens. And then we've got a green spot here. Let me pull out so you guys can see where I am. And back in. Darker green. And a slightly lighter green. Linda, where are they playing the game? And then we have our I'm going to add a little bit of our lighter green here. Just to give us a nice blend. Oh, they're in Detroit. Oh my gosh. Do you guys have a dome stadium? Or is this basically out in the cold weather? That's awful. And then we have our dark green up here. Karen, good to see you. Mimi, welcome to watching the broadcast. Mimi's still having trouble commenting, but she says she watches, so I'm saying hello to Mimi. Hello, Mimi. Oh, hello, Mimi. So glad to see that you're here with us tonight. Okay. It's a dome stadium. Okay. Well, that's good. I never understood why stadiums in areas of cold and snow aren't always dome. All right, and I'm going to put a little bit of green in the middle of these flowers here. Isn't that pretty? Now, the top of this is a little touchy to do. Mimi, can you ask any of your friends to help you with this issue that you can't comment on YouTube? All right. Where on Facebook do you look for the pictures, Belle? Okay. In the group, of course. Do a search in the group that says new duet. There's a little magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner that allows you to search in groups, specifically in groups. And I've got a GIF that I use. It says breaking news. So you'll see it. Okay, so we need to add a little bit of color to these areas here so I can do this background. So I'm going to get a light pink. And I'm just going to tint in these smaller areas. And then we'll come back and finish those off. Belle, do you have the means to print the pictures? Okay, let's get this pink in. And you'll start to see how cool this hat really looks. Anybody else having problems finding the pictures? Oh, this is so cute. Now I'm just penciling in, pun intended. These decorations here on the hat. I'm going to go back with a green right here at the top of this oval. And then come back with my pink on these little dots. Leave the flowers alone for the moment. And then stop right there with our lighter pink. And we'll get back to that. Meanwhile, let me pull out so you can see how this looks. Isn't that cute? Okay, Maggie, thank you. All right. So last night we started in with a nice, robust red. And now I'm going to come in with a medium orange. And we're going to work on this medium area on the hat. Oh, you're going to take a picture of them and take it to your sister's work and print them there, but it's giving me grief right now. Rather than take a picture, can't you just text it to her so she can print it directly for you? And what do you mean you can't get through? Okay. Okay, Maggie, thank you. Maggie, I'm using this orange as my next color next to my darker red underneath the brim of the hat. That's what you missed. And now you can see why I did all those little spots pink so that we can work around them. Now it's going to look a little messy. But again, this is a work in progress. And it'll all come out in the wash. You want to go out? So this orange is my medium color. And we just need to snake our way through and around all these little doohickeys. And for anybody coming in new, this is our duet piece. It's a free piece that I do out of one of my books. I give it to you and we all color together on it. And I always suggest to people to pace me. Oh, Karen, good night. You'll watch tomorrow as you're coloring along in a world of wonders. Excellent. I'm always glad that you at least come in to say hello. Okay, be sure to back blend your colors, which means what? We take the color that we're working on and go back over that edge of the previous color to give us a nice consistent look. Okay. Then I'm going to take a lighter orange yet. Let's see. Oh, the wind's starting to kick up. Hopefully I won't get booted off. Okay. So here's our lighter orange. And that'll be our area down here. Now take your time. Belle, I would suggest that you text the other two pictures as well. I've given away 3 of them. So even if I don't, I'm planning on coloring them. But if I don't, you guys will have it. I'm amazed at my ways. Oh man, this is pretty. Take your time on this, guys. It's well worth it. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my medium orange. Try to preserve your little dots there, depending on how steady your hand is. Belle, join the club. I amaze myself all the time. Oh, we just got to poke around these little doohickeys here. Okay, let me pull out. And your piece should look something like this. How ridiculously cute is that? So now what I'm doing is I'm switching between my shades and making sure that all my boundaries between the colors are blended in. Anybody having problems with their blending? And anybody that's new, this image is available for you to color along. And if you are new, say hello. We don't bite. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. There we go. Now, don't worry about the rest of these doohickeys yet. We'll get to them. All right. Let's pop over to the left here and get that underside done. So now I'm back to that red, that deep red that I like. That's my Faber-Castell Crap Black Matter, color number 142. All right. So I've got my darkest color here. And I'm going to be using my dark red here and my medium orange. All right. Now again, I want you to notice that I'm just going tiny little circles. No. And try not to wipe out that little pattern that's there. And then I'm going to come in with my darker orange, or the two oranges that I showed you. Be sure to back blend it, which just means that you go over that line where we left off with the red and merge them. Isn't that pretty? Oh, Belle, you're coloring in Enchanted Gnomes? Good, I'm glad you've got a gnome picture to color. All right, let me pull out so you can see the underside of this hat in its entirety. I love it. And if you need a couple areas that you need to tweak, go ahead and do that. And you want this blending to be as smooth as what? A baby's behind. And you want the transition from one color to be seamless to the other. All right. Okay. Questions, comments? Now, our gnome shirt is going to be the same color as the underside of the gnome hat. Which will make it look pretty cool. So I'm going to take my dark red. And we'll start putting that in. Now, again, we need to poke around these little designs that are on it. I don't know why our gnome wore this particular shirt today, but we need to take care of it for him. Now notice we've got a slightly lighter area right here and then dark to the right over his footy. By the way, guys, you do know why this gnome is laughing the way he is. Anyone care to venture a guess? Okay, so we very carefully poke in our red. Not poke it in, but put it in. The butterfly was tickling him earlier. There's a good reason. I am speculating that we are tickling him with our pencils. This is why he is continuing laughing. So every time we touch him with our pencils, he laughs. Okay, so there's our dark. And then I'm going to come back with my medium orange. Hey Maggie, I forgot to ask you, how did your eye doctor appointment go? Ooh, got it. There we go. It's supposed to be tomorrow at 7:30. Oh, that's right. It was Monday. Yep. I hope they have a way of notifying you whether it's going to be open or closed and get to you in time, since it's so early. For some reason, I was thinking that you already had it last Monday. My weeks kind of run together. Okay. So now I'm moving. I'm by his right foot. Who's coloring this with me tonight? I know Mimi is. Okay, so I'm coming in with my darker orange. Oh, this is so pretty. Hey, Kathy. Kathy, I'll pull out in a second so you can see what we've done. Kathy, how's your weather? All right, back to my dark red. I love this dark red. And then we've got a little bit of our darker red around this flower. And then I'm going to come in with my medium orange. And blend that up. Oh, the salt truck just came through. It's so funny. The street that I live on is residential, but it's a state road. Go figure. So anytime that we have this weather like this, they come through and plow and salt, which is pretty cool. Okay, now, even though this calls for my medium orange, I'm going to come in with my light orange because this is pretty dark. And I'm going to finish it off with my lighter orange. And I'm also going to back blend with my lighter orange. Check it out. And then I'm going to come back where his right hand is and blend with my lighter orange. And then I'm going to come back by his left hand and blend with my lighter orange. Remember, guys, you can use your lightest color. You can use your lightest color to blend. Tomorrow's a holiday. Don't go to the banks or post office. All right, let me pull out. There's roughly how you should be looking. I haven't been paying attention to the calendar. What's the holiday? Any questions or comments? Anybody having any problems that's following me? Milk. Oh, Martin Luther King. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Forgive me my ignorance. Yep, Martin Luther King Day. Like I said, forgive me my ignorance on that. That man was a phenomenal speaker. Spell check, gotcha. Belle, thank you so much for the reminder. Okay, let me grab a little water. And for anybody that just wandered in, this is a free image that you can download from my group on Facebook, or we can text it to you so you can color along. I've got about 25 minutes before I start up on Worlds of Wonder again by Johanna Bosford. But this is a freebie from one of my upcoming books. Okay, so let's play around with the hat a little bit. So I'm to our left, his right, and I'm going to start up on this flower, which I'm going to be doing in oranges and red. so there's my orange. Hello, Brittany. And then I'm going to come in with my red. On my darker centers, and then around the outside, I'm going to work a light orange. Check it out. Well, Brittany, I'm glad to hear the doctors are on top of your dad's issues. So, Brittany, are you going to color with us? And then I'm going to come back with a darker green. And we're going to start to pick up the green on these leaves. And notice that I'm using the 2 shades of green. So there's my lighter green, which I'm blending. Look how cool that looks. Now, the reason that I suggest that you paste me is because I want to show you these different ways to do these colorings. I'm going to add a little orange, a little more orange to this. Specifically, a little bit darker orange to give this a little bit more dimension and detail. So I started with the lighter orange, and now I'm coming in with the darker orange. And then I'm going to take that same darker orange, and we're going to work on our petals. Check it out. And then back to my darker green. Trust me, this is all going to work out in the end. Go to your left. We'll work our shades of green, a darker green, and then a light green. I'm just going to put it on that one leaf there. Oh, I lied. Excuse me. We'll put some green on this second leaf right here. And then shade it with a little bit of the dark green. All right, and then these leaves right here that are coming down out of the hat. So here's my darker green. Oh, Linda, you're still watching. Great. And then my lighter green. Now, sometimes your areas are small and it's a little difficult, but notice how I'm just putting my darker green on the one side here. And then coming back with my lighter green. And then I'm going to slide up to the right hand side here by our butterfly. Now remember, I have my light, medium, and dark green. So we'll go ahead and pop in a little dark. Now, technically speaking, that leaf right there calls for all dark, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put my dark and then come in with my light. How pretty is that? And then I'm going to take my lightest green. We've got a little patch right here. I'm just going to kiss that with my light green, but I'm going to shade it a little bit. So we'll go a little darker on part of it with the same pencil. Everybody with me on that? All right. I need to move my camera just a little bit. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm defining some of my greenery. So grab yourself an olive green. We're going to change this up just a little bit. Well, hello, Angela. Okay. Angela, how have you been? We haven't heard. You're still studying for your exam, taking it next month. All right. Okay, olive green. Now I'm just going to go ahead and work a couple of these. Well, good. And I'm going to take my olive green here on this one large leaf. Let me resharpen here. Glad to hear it, Angela. And then I'm going to come in very lightly with that same pencil. For this top part of this leaf. And for the darker areas, repeat strokes. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my ivory. on our center sections. Isn't that pretty? Your fiance's work schedule changed. He now works 4 days on and 4 days off and can be on the nights he works. Tonight is his Friday, so I won't be on next 4 days, but I'll be back. Okay. How are things going with you and your fiance? Okay, I'm going to work my olive green here on some of these leaves up here. Most notably the dark part. And then I'm going to come back with my medium green. And look how cool that medium green looks with the olive. So Angela, have you guys been able to meet up yet? All right, check out the mix of the olive green and our medium green. And I'm going to put a little bit of dark green in there. Check out the addition of the dark green. And then we'll toggle back and forth between our olive and we'll blend this up. Okay. Now, my olive green, I'm going to roll over. Let me show you here. Across the top of this flower right here, we've got all these little greenery items, these leaves. Oh, he's going to try and come in April for Easter. Now I'm going to base color these leaves my olive green, and you know that I'll come back with another shade in a little bit. Well, it'll be tomorrow because I need to go to my Worlds of Wonder. All right. Now follow me carefully on what I color green and what I don't, because we're going to add a little pink to this. So we'll be adding a couple of more colors. But again, I just want to get my base greens in here. All right, so I'm going to slide over here. Olive green. And then I'm going to pop up here to this flower, and I'm going to go with a darker green, not the olive. And remember, you want to use more than one green. So I started with my darker green, and then I'm going to blend with a lighter green. It's the one with the jar and the fish. I'll show you in a little bit, Angela. I'm about to go over to it. Okay. Let me pull out so you can see this. And you can see, oh my gosh, the cuteness overload on this. So this book, Valentine's Gnomes Jubilee, I'll let everybody know when it's released, but I've given you 3 free images from it that we can color together. Yes, this is one of my images. All right. Any questions, comments? For those of you that are coloring this with me, any questions? Okay. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, switching over to Worlds of Wonder. Oops, let me see something here. Yeah. All right, let me bend this back. Linda, how's the game going? Okay, so this is the picture that I'm doing. It's the one where it's got the bottle being pulled by the fish. So for those of you that have the book, you can follow along with me. And if you're new to the broadcast tonight, pop over to the previous videos for how I did the mushrooms in the inside of the jar. Okay. I gotta move my camera around a little bit. There we go. So this is what I'll be concentrating on tonight. Just ridiculously cute. And remember, if you are following this and you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. That's why I'm live. Yeah, the mushrooms turned out really well. Okay, olive green on my stems. I'm just using an eraser to clean up my lantern. And the lantern will be done in black and what? The gray, right? The Rams are 17, Detroit 21. Angela is rooting for Detroit because she lives in Michigan. All right, how do we do black? We do black and gray. So let's go ahead and start with a black. My favorite black is Prismacolor black. Good grief, those salt trucks are going by again. Plow and salt. So there's our black and our gray. Now remember, when you adult color, you don't want to just fill something in with one color. Check it out. And then this little area here, I'm going to go ahead and add a glow to that. Now, no matter what, you're going to get smearing a pencil. So it just means that you have to periodically erase it out. So I'm going to come in with my yellow. And I'm going to expand that yellow on the outside. Come on. Check it out. And I just noticed a little mushroom that I missed. Teeny tiny one. There we go. So I'm going to pop in a little bit of purple. And red. little bit of yellow. And boy, is that a small area. And then I'm going to come back with my olive and catch this plant. And then on the bottom of my mushroom, we're going to come back with that brown. It's a gold color for that stem. Uh-oh, bad referees. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my flowers because I didn't have a chance to blend when I colored them. So I'm going to use my blending pencil and very lightly we're going to smooth that out. Because you know that I would never ever leave something unblended. Now, I've got something going on with my paper. I don't know what it is, but there's a very rough patch on here. And my paper is peeling up on me a little bit. I think it's a printing issue. And unfortunately, it's making somewhat of a mess here. So I need to compensate for it a little bit. I noticed it when I first bought the book. Didn't really do anything about it. But every time I erase over that area, it peels up a little paper. So I'm not sure what the issue is. So what I'm going to do to compensate for that is I'm going to take some white and very lightly color over that. Oh, Angela, you just wanted to pop in and say hello. You'll be back in the next 4 days. Okay. So if you ever run into this sort of thing here, again, I don't know what caused it. So I'm going to try to repair this. And I'm not scrubbing with my pencil. I'm going in one direction with it. Oh, what a mess. Okay. So I'm going to pop down to the bottom of my jar here. And we'll go ahead and work on the soil here. So I'm going to come in with my light, medium, dark brown. What's going on with the referees on the game? Missing calls, nothing new. Are the commentators saying anything? Okay, so check out the lighter brown here. So the Rams were in the neutral zone and the penalty was on the Lions. Wow. Now, again, small circles on our coloring. And of course, we need to get around our bubbles here. Now I'm going to go back and recover these little grass areas here. And we'll put a nice green on those. Now don't forget that you want a light and a dark shade. So I've got 2 greens working on these grass patches. And then we'll go ahead and touch it the same way on these areas that are not in the brown area. That little bit of green, 2 shades. All right, check it out. Looking pretty good. Okay, so there's my light brown. In my dirt area. And now we're going to come in with our medium brown. And check out how I'm angling this design. See how I'm shading that at an angle here to give that some nice dimension? Absolutely beautiful. Don't forget to turn your pencil. Okay, let me pull out. Look how cool that looks. Hallelujah. And then I'm going to come in with my darkest brown and detail in. So, where would the most wear be on this ground? It's going to be in front of our doors. And notice how I'm creating a pathway. See that? These are the types of things I want you to think about. Same thing with our second door. Now, I'm going to create a pathway here for all three of our mushroom houses. So I'm going to create a pathway going to the right because we want all our neighbors to be friendly. And to our left. So what do you guys think of the path idea? Do you like it? These are the types of things I'd like you to think about when you're coloring. And then I'm going to use my darkest brown to shade up. On the edges of our sand. The main thing is that we want this path in between our houses. I was going to say gnome houses. All right, let's go over here. Any questions to my thought process here? All right, let's pull out and take a look at this. Isn't that ridiculously cute? Okay. Now, I've got the little chimney here on our first mushroom. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a water-based marker, yellow, and I'm going to pop in a little bit of yellow on the windows. And you can use water-based markers on this, even though it's double-sided printing, but be careful with your darker colors. Do not use alcohol-based. So let's go ahead and get this chimney. Oh, no, not yet. I want these window frames to stand out. So I'm going to go ahead and use black. Works just fine with the motif of the mushroom. And actually it looks really beautiful with it. So this black pen is perfect. It blends in the windows with my colors. Guys, don't be afraid of black. All right. Look how cool that black looks, guys. And this black pen works perfectly. I wanted a very rich black for this. And again, take your time. Linda, what's the current score on the football game? Maggie, you're watching it as well, aren't you? (24-20) Detroit. How much longer in the game? Okay, now I'm going to go back. With my black pen. And color in the mushroom dots. Look how cool that looks. Two minutes left in the third quarter. Check it out, guys. And if you have any questions, ask. Oh, I love it. Now, my third mushroom house doesn't have any dots on it. So, I'm going to go ahead and add some. Don't have to add too many. But I think that looks pretty cool. Now, this is the mushroom that we went ahead and added the brickwork on the top part. Okay, and this is how he looks so far. Check it out. Let me come in a little closer, of course, and then you'll see the detail. Now, the question that comes up is how we want to make that sky look. And we have two options. We can either make it look the color of the ocean surrounding it, the water surrounding it, or we can go through and we can make a light, medium, and dark blue and purple to make it look like a sunset. Or not a sunset per se, but a regular sky. Oh, Kathy, you're saying make it look like the ocean? Kathy, have you been enjoying coloring this with me? All right, so I'm going to start out with my lightest blue. Oh, don't worry about being slower. That's fine. We've talked about that before. Take your time. So here's my lighter color on the bottom. So there's my light blue. Then I'm going to come in with my medium blue. And let me work my medium blue over here. Well, Kathy, there are the two ways that we can go with this. We can either have it reflect what the blue is going to be in the overall blue, or we can do like a separate coloring. Let me move my camera just a little bit. We can do a separate coloring and make it look like it's a contained jar. Either way is fun. And Kathy, I'm delighted that you can color this with me. That's really cool. Okay, Vicki, come on. Go on. Now, do you guys remember what I told you or taught you, that when you come up to a line like this where this plant is, if you are using different colors like this, that you need to extend your last color over that area. In other words, don't end it here at the stem. And you'll see what I mean in a second. Now, obviously, this is not blended and smoothed out yet. Now I'm going to come back here to the right where I started. And I'm going to work on this transition area. So I've got my light blue, and this is where we need to blend that transition point from one color to the next so it is seamless. And also notice that I'm using my lighter blue to go over this medium blue to blend blend and smooth that as well. Check it out. Any question about that? What's the number one skill that we need to master in colored pencil coloring? Blending. No problem, Belle. Hey, I'm laid back. What can I say? Okay, let's go in this middle section now. We've got our light blue going into our darker blue, which I'm blending with my light blue pencil. Come on. Come. Come. And boy, is it getting cold. Ooh. I would rather have you have great blending technique and lousy, if I had to choose, great blending technique and lousy color choice versus perfect color choice and bad blending. I tell you that all the time. Currently it's 20 degrees, but the good news is the low is 19, the high is 31. Okay, using my light blue to blend. And notice by using the light blue on my medium blue, it smooths that out. And speaking of smoothing out, which I didn't do yesterday, I'm going to smooth out my petals. To get that blending looking good. Maggie, you're at 20. Okay. Kathy, you're at -9. Okay. Now, so you're not going to complain. I always tell you when you're transitioning from one color to the next to not leave a straight line like this because that makes it harder to blend. So I'm going to go ahead and make that jagged, or uneven, I should say. And then I'm going to come in with my darkest blue. And notice how I'm back blending that darker blue over that line. Guys, there's just no two ways about it. You've got to get blending under control. Well, if it's any consolation, it is summertime in Australia. And I've seen complaints about the heat. But you know what? When it's summer, we complain about the heat, and when it's winter, we complain about the cold. I don't complain, I just comment. I'll pull out in a second so you can see this. Isn't that cool looking? And then we just need to go back. I've got my medium. We just need to go back and fiddle with our transition lines. Oh, is that pretty? Okay. Hallelujah. Amen, amen. Okay, dark blue. I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. Vicki, what? And again, take your time. I think this looks so cool with the 3 colors. Kathy, are you warming up to it? The idea of the 3 colors? Good. Okay. I'm having too much fun again with this. Let me pull out and show you this. See how our 3 colors are working together beautifully? I forgot to do the hanger on the lantern, so we'll pop in a little black for that. There we go. Okay, darker blue here. You know, it's so funny. I'm wearing warm clothing, of course, and I'm warm, but my knees are cold. Go figure. How does that happen? Oh, this jar is gorgeous. Let me sharpen. What service is carrying the game, guys? Is it on Peacock or Amazon Prime? Okay. We're going to slide over into our blue now over here. NBC, okay. Okay, now we're getting into my rough spot on my paper. Vicky says hello. Oh, how pretty is this? Okay, so I'm coming down into my medium blue, so I need to blend that, right? Okay, wish me luck on this rough area. Again, some kind of flaw in the paper. Now, remember, if you ever run into something like that, figure out ways around it. And one of the ways that I was already thinking of, if I can't color over this the way I want to, is, you know those little wooden butterflies that I have that I've put on pieces periodically? I was going to pop one of those on this. We'll see how the paper reacts. So the moral of the story there is, if you run into something, I mean, you can see that rough grayish area. If you run into an area like that, or something that disrupts your paper, figure out a way around it. Don't pitch the page. You remember I went over it with white first? So we'll see if that helps take care of that damage. In my coloring career, I have only thrown away one page, and the only reason for that was it was a duplicate page of one that I'd done before, an image that I'd done before, and I was kind of bored and I was going to play around with it. I wasn't feeling my best, which was stupid. I shouldn't have been trying to color in the first place. I couldn't get it to come out the way that I wanted it. I wasn't feeling well. And I got irritated with it and I threw it out. But again, it was a page I'd already done. So like I said, the moral of that story is if you run into something, figure out a way around it. And the question is why? Because it helps you grow as an artist, coloring, and your skills. Yeah, so Maggie said before I joined you, I would start and restart if it wasn't going as I like. Yeah, don't do that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that area is looking a little beat up. I'm going to have to cover it with something. Like I said, I already know what I'm going to cover it with. Guys, I got to remind you that if you're adult coloring and you're relatively new, you're really not qualified to make decisions like that about whether something is good or not. That's why you post it in a group that you belong to. And put it out there. Yeah, this section's pretty chewed up. Okay. Let me pull out. Let me pull out. And let's take a look at this jar overall. So what do you think? I love the light, medium, dark of the blue. I'm just blending a little bit. I had an area right here where I ended a color at a line, so I'm just carrying that over a little bit. There we go. Much better. Okay, so we've got a nice little nighttime coloring here. With the 3 different shades, and that's what I wanted to show you. I'm happy with it. Okay, I'm ready to call it an evening. It's 10 o'clock. My watch is telling me it's ticking. It thumps me. I've got an Apple Watch. Any questions or comments before I call it, wrap it up? So we worked on the jar, and we worked on our gnome. That's our freebie from the duet. Valentine's, Gnomes, Jubilee. Okay, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, guys. Joyous, joyous coloring. I'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Stay warm, stay safe. Guys, love on each other. Please check on each other in this weather. Take care. Thanks for being here. Have a great rest of the evening. Bye.